Well guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I've got a beautiful chicken that I'm going to roast off in the oven, but first I brined it in an herb brine, and then I've done lemon and herbs and everything just to make it very, very delicious. And so it's an easy way to do something that for some people can be a little daunting, to take a whole chicken and try to figure it out. But I'll show you an easy way to do it, and if this inspires you to stay with me, go down in that About section below. Check out all the links I've left for you. I've got my Facebook page, my Wild Tree website. Yeah, go check it out. Anyway, go over and visit me, say hi, and if you make this recipe, post a picture on my Facebook page. I love that when you guys do that. Okay, so we're gonna make this beautiful brine chicken. Brining is the key here. If you want a tender, succulent, delicious, juicy chicken, this is what you have to do. All right, guys, let's go make this chicken and see how I do it. Come on. All right, so I'm glad you stayed. Here we have our whole chicken that we have brined overnight. Now, this is brined for a full 24 hours in buttermilk, and I also threw some herbs in there. I'm not sure whether the herbs will break down enough in that buttermilk mixture, but we're gonna find out if it permeated the meat well enough or not. And what I'm gonna do, this isn't a very big bird, it's about 4 pounds, because I want it to cook quickly and I don't wanna have to truss it or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and spatchcock this chicken. And all that means is we're gonna take that spine out. So you're gonna go on each side of the spine. You can save that spine for soups. I hope you can see all this. This is pretty easy, and you want some really good shears. I buy these at the hardware store, and I only use them for this. The ones generally that you get for your little knife sets, unless they cost you, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that knife set, you're probably getting a very cheap, inexpensive pair of kitchen shears that are supposed to be able to do this job, but they really can't. So that backbone here goes here for, now that I've got that backbone out, move these away. Then I get my knife, and you're gonna come in here. I wanna make sure you can see. You've now got it pretty well opened up. All you gotta do is get in here and go right down the center of that. And it usually isn't too hard. And going back to brining in buttermilk, I've discussed this a couple of times, but the enzymes in that milk product breaks down this chicken so well. And instead of spatchcocking, I'm just gonna have it in 2 halves. You could leave it together and break it down. This is a lemon and herb chicken. So what I'm gonna do now is come up under this skin, and I wanna get up under the skin on the leg as well as the thigh. And it's much easier to do when you have the bird in half like this. Okay, this one's done. And get up under this side. It just makes it much easier to get your herbs or whatever you're gonna put under the skin, which we are gonna season under here. And the skin just basically is keeping it in place, if that makes sense to you. Now I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna put those in under the chicken as well to perfume it. In this bowl I have melted butter, about 2 tablespoons of melted butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. And make sure after you've washed your citrus really well, you're able to go ahead and use it in your cooking. My pet peeve in a restaurant is not to have them put lemon in my water. I have them bring lemon wedges on the side because I'm pretty sure they don't always wash them. That's, I'm just guessing. Maybe they do. Okay, so I've got some lemon zest, so about half a lemon zested. And I don't want to use that knife. And we're going to go ahead and quarter that lemon as well. the rest of that lemon. So basically 2 whole lemons. One was kind of small, one was kind of large. And then we've got a good 6 cloves of garlic here. And I'm going to put half of that in this butter, because that's going to be delicious. Okay, now butter, mix it all up, and rinse this again. Okay. Now we got to put some seasoning in that butter, correct? And for on the inside of this, this is a blend that I made myself, and it's a lemon, garlic, and rosemary salt. And it just came out fabulous. And so we're going to put, because we want these pretty well seasoned, we're going to put about a tablespoon of that in there. That's got lemon zest in there, pepper, garlic, rosemary. It's delicious. And so let's mix that in. I'm going to add a little bit more pepper. And this is the seasoning for the inside of this chicken. It smells good already. And the herbs that I've got that are going to pair with this is thyme, rosemary, and sage. Perfect herbs for this. So now all I'm doing is grabbing as much as you can get. It's messy, but that's okay. We don't mind. And putting that delicious garlicky butter and olive oil under the skin of this bird. And there's plenty for the outside as well. So give her a nice rub down. Get that knife in the sink. And then another wash. And by having these in half, it makes it so much easier for this to cook. Now I'm putting lemon and herbs up under the skin. So I've got a couple lemons here on the leg and the thigh, and I want a sprig of thyme in here. We're going to get a little bit of this sage and some rosemary, and get that up under there on that thigh meat. And then over here, same thing. I'm just going to get some rosemary. And the butter kind of starts, because it gets cold again when it hits the cold meat, it's easier to deal with getting stuff in because it's not so oily, if that makes sense. Okay, so up under this thigh, a couple lemon slices, and 2 more for this breast. You guys, if you haven't had this or tried a lemon herb chicken before, they're just delicious. They really do make an easy dinner feel and look and taste very elegant and very chefy, as I should say, but it's not chefy. Keep it under there. And one more. Put this under there. And you can pull all this out. Most of the time you're not going to eat the skin, but on this one you might want to, because it's going to have that crispy skin. Delicious. Get this on to... Okay, now that we've got everything inside, we're going to go ahead and season the outside pretty generously with salt and pepper. And, oh boy, this looks so good. It's going to be delicious. You want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. I think 400 gets it too brown too fast, and then the interior doesn't get cooked as well. But as you can see, this is laying pretty level from thigh to breast meat, so it should get done about the same time. We are ready to put this in a 375-degree oven for about 1 hour and 15 minutes is usually what it takes. It might take less time. I'm going to keep a watch on the temperature. This bird is actually a little smaller than some that we've had lately, and so I really like getting the organic chickens. It's just fabulous. Use them however you can. All right, going in the oven. All right, so I brought these out of the oven. They're resting right now. You want to let these rest for about 15 minutes. I brought the internal temperature up to 165, 160, and you know, when the juices run clear, when you pull that thermometer out, you know. So my chicken has had time to rest. It's had time to get some of that rosemary off of there. It's had time to just kind of settle in and be lovely. I've taken one of those halves and taken the leg, the thigh, the wing, and I get quite a bit of breast meat on that thigh. I cut into as far as I can. That way whoever ends up with the thigh can still have breast meat. I'm going to give you a bite of this breast meat, and I put some of that sauce down. I didn't even reduce it or do anything. I just spooned some of the sauce over this because it's so full of lemony herb flavor that you really, I don't know how you could resist that. So let's get a bite of that. This delicious chicken breast. It's so tender and moist. And I'll tell you that if you try brining your chicken in buttermilk, you won't ever have a stringy chicken breast. You'll never have that stringy meat consistency. Same with rabbit or any other, poultry that you're going to do. I've even, sometimes if I think I've got a really tough cut of meat that I don't want to, or I don't have time to cook a long time, I'll do it in milk, whole milk, because the enzymes in the milk is what's breaking down that meat. So we're just going to take another piece of that breast meat. Show you how pretty that is. So, dripping. Dripping on my counter. Okay. Delicious. And then we both love the dark meat. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this thigh off. Just because he can have the rest. And I'll take that skin off. And have that beautiful piece of thigh meat right there. It's got such a great herbaceous flavor without it being too overwhelming. It's delicious. It's moist and tender, and it's everything you want from a roasted chicken. So this is another way you can roast a chicken. Sometimes a whole roasted chicken takes too long, or it's like this big daunting thing that people get worried about doing. This is an easy way to do a lemon roasted chicken that is fabulous, and your whole family will love it. The leftovers can be made into something else, which I probably will repurpose the other half of that at least. And as always, guys, I hope it inspires you. If it does, go hit like on the way down to share this video on your Facebook page. And I hope if you're not a subscriber, you subscribe to my channel. And as always, I can't wait to see you next time with another delicious recipe and or, you know what, home idea for you. Because not all of my stuff is recipes. Some of it's just a home trick that you might be able to use to help your life be easier. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. God bless.